My name is Magwa, and I'm committed to making a difference in this world by improving my life and others' lives. Welcome to Sam Show. What I've gotten from you is that we should use this time to actually grow ourselves and work on the parts that we are actually weak at. And another thing I've really gotten for you that has actually kicked in is that we should channel our negative thoughts to be more positive. Like the way you said that when our brain tells us that you can't, you divert that thought and say that you can. So that's I think that's a really powerful way of thinking. Yeah.
Also, more importantly, Sammy, and this is where we had started, is do you have a vision for yourself? Most of you young people, you already, by the time you're in class 7, class 8, you have a desired future that you want. You know, I want to have a family, I want to have a car like this, I want to do this kind of a job, nini. Now that there is Corona, and this is a new reality, it is good to revisit your dream and your vision again, and to say, in light of now this new reality that we have, how is my dream? Do I need to revisualize it? Do I need to re-strategize how to get to my dream? Such that, again, you're being proactive. You're saying, okay, there's Corona now. Okay, maybe I may not read as fast as I thought I would read, but I still want to get to my dream. So what do I need to change in my strategy that I still get to my dream? Yeah. And if you don't have a vision, pray for one, because you really can't move forward if you don't know where you're going. Yeah. So as a person, do you have a personal desired future that you're praying for, that you're working towards? Because that desired future, you break it down into smaller goals. So for my academics, what are my goals? For my health and fitness, what are my goals? For my relationships and marriage, what are my goals? Now those goals, again, you have short-term goals, long-term goals, whatever. Yeah. And that will begin to dictate what is your activity for today. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah. So there is, I thank God for Corona and sitting in the house, because I think it's giving us time to revisit our thoughts. Where are we going? How are we getting to where we are going? Yeah.
So
And-
also having a vision
Yes.
is a very huge part of this,
And it will keep you going. So you stop feeling hopeless. You begin to think, how do I get where I want to go? Then you begin to form long-term goals, short-term goals, and then begin to think, now, how do I achieve this goal within the next 3 months? Which will take me towards closer to my vision. Yeah. So today, my decisions and my activities today should take me a step closer to my short-term goal, and even another step closer to my future. Yeah. So aligning your activities today towards your desired future.
But this would mean that
How many people can't really, I'd say, like actualize their dreams? So the best thing to do right now, as I'm getting from you, is to actually read something to do with your goals and aspiration, actually learn about it. Yeah.
Reading, research, praying. Now you're gathering information towards what you desire in your future. Then as you understand and visualize your future clearer, you won't see it 100%. Actually, your vision clarifies as you grow old. Yeah. So, but whatever you understand of it, let's take a simple one. Like maybe you wanted to finish, to have a farm at some point in your life, when you're 40, whatever. But what is it that I can do now towards me getting a farm when I'm 40? Yeah. So you see, like, and that goes to what you've said, that maybe I can begin to read on farming. Maybe I can begin to read on how can I keep a few chickens within the quarter place where I'm staying with my family. Yeah. So you begin to take small practical steps that will make you better and readier towards your desired future. Maybe you want a family. Maybe you have a girlfriend, or now that I'm talking to Sammy, you would have a girlfriend. So is this the girl I want to get married to? Is it not the girl I want to get married to? What will let me know that the relationship I have now is going towards me having a wife or not? So again, it goes back to what you said. Yes, I do research, I pray about it, I think, and I see, and I examine our relationship. Where is it going? Is it going to lead towards a healthy marriage? Is it not? Then is it worth keeping? Or what do I do with it now? So practically, what am I doing now to make sure I have a healthy marriage in the future? Yeah. And that will detect your goals. And if you think like that, Sammy, there is not enough time, by the way. As you are sitting in quarantine, you'll begin to realize, oh my, I need more time. Yeah.
I've gotten from you that the people who are anxious and depressed, like they are kind of not really clear about what they really want in life, and they are not really, that's what I've gotten from you.
Yes. And chances are they are reacting to the environment and what everybody else is saying around them. They haven't taken stock of themselves and where they want to go. And it should be the other way around, that Sammy, I, Mary, have sat and I thought this is where I want to go. So now I approach my mom, or I approach my teacher or my neighbor with the aim of them helping me to work out my today as I move towards my tomorrow. You get? But if you sit without a vision, then you're at the risk of your mom waking you up and saying to, Sammy, I think you can run a farm. Then somebody else comes and says, no, Sammy, you can sing. And then somebody else wakes up and says, no, you're a footballer. You see? So now you're all jumbled up and you're at the mercy of the people around you. And you will feel hopeless.
So don't react to the situation. You should. It should be the opposite. Yeah.
Yes.
It should be
Where
the
are
situation reacting to us. Yeah.
Yes. Where are you? And now that Corona is happening, what can I do within Corona to get where I want to go?
It's actually has created an opportunity for us to do a lot. Yeah.
There's something I like doing with youth or children when we are doing life skills, where I ask them to look at your desired future, then look again at the assets that you have. What do you have around you right now? Do you recognize that maybe you have a family, you have a government, you have government structures, you have resources maybe that I don't know of, that you can recognize and look at them and see, how can I use these resources as I move towards my desired goal? And so we draw a bridge from the now to tomorrow. But under the bridge, we put crocodiles. I've done this with you, Sammy. And these crocodiles are, what is the barriers? What are the possible barriers and hindrances that can keep me from getting to my desired future? So now with Corona, it's a very good time to say, this is my desired future. This is where I am now. So what do I think are the possible barriers and challenges that can keep me from getting to my desired future? But once you get them, you don't sit. It is you look at each barrier and begin to work at, how can I proactively begin to deal with this barrier? So one barrier could be, like, I'm fearful. So what do I do now to help me begin to manage fear? Another barrier are like ladies. Okay, so what can you begin to proactively think of how to manage yourself so that liking ladies does not make me prone to losing my vision or getting to my vision? Or another weakness that I could have is maybe I misuse money. So what is it that I can do now to help me manage the little money that I get so that I don't miss getting to my desired goal? So maybe you can, again, like what you said, if it was me, I would begin to ask, what is financial management? What is budgeting? What is personal budgeting? How do or personal finances? Is that something possibly you can Google and begin to work on? Yeah. And then after you've read that, decide what is personally applicable to me and begin to practice it. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying Corona is an opportunity just to make you stop and think again. Think again. Where are you going? What are the possible hindrances that can keep you from getting where you're going? What can you do about them? And never, ever, ever think I can't or it is hopeless. Yeah? Because if you are alive, Sammy, and one day you will get children and a family, surely God has a plan of how you're going to raise that family financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So go back to God and say, Lord, within this situation, within these resources, help me to see how you want me to handle my resources and my situation, so that one day I can look after a family and raise a family and be happy. Yeah. Everybody who's alive, there is something God has for you. Yeah. I really don't believe, I feel it is us who forget to go back and ask for help, to understand your situation and to understand how to move from your situation to the forward that you want.
I have one question for you, Dr. Mary. So how do you deal with this fear of the disease that's actually going around? Because these numbers are rising and we fear that we can be next. So how can us young guys actually work on that fear? Because I know there's also something called fear of getting a disease, and can actually make people stop doing a lot of things. So how do you actually stop that fear?
Always two things with fear. One is that when you're fearful, you're mainly asking, what if? You're asking, what if? So there's somebody who gave us an acronym for fear and said, fear is false evidence appearing real. So you're thinking, what if? And that if, you're making it real, yet it is not there. So the one thing I would say about corona is get the facts about corona. Yeah? How many people are going down? When they go down, what happens? Such that actually somebody told us that if you fear something, think the worst of that scenario, that if you got corona, so what? Yeah? What are the chances of you dying? The chances are very little, as far as I've heard, even from the statistics that I have picked. Yeah. So think the worst scenario, what if, so that you stop being fearful. Yeah. So that you say, okay, so these are the facts about corona, and if the worst happens and I actually get it, I may or may not die, and chances are I may live. I am not going to die. And if the worst happens and then you die, so what? That's how you handle fear. You face it, you look at it. So get your facts right. Once you have your facts right, then you yourself, what has the government told us? What are you being told? Stay clean, wear your mask, keep your distance. Are you doing those things that we have been asked to do? Yeah? Then within that safe environment that now you are in, because either you're wearing the mask or you're cleaning up or maybe you're in the house, you're not leaving, then what can I do about my everyday situation? What can I do about my relationships? And that's when now all that discussion that we have had before comes in. Yeah? So you can move forward because you think that there is hope to move forward. Yeah? Because now you realize the statistics are not so bad. And anyway, how many people die from cars that we hear every day? Car accidents and people die. Does that keep you from moving forward? Does that keep you from getting into a car? You still get into cars. You still move forward. You still plan your future. Yeah? So mbaya, kikukuta mbaya. Sindio? But so why are we allowing corona to lock us in? Why are we allowing corona to paralyze us? Yeah. So move forward within the safe environment that you have, and just work your everyday activities as best as you can. Yeah. So that's when you go to all that we have discussed. Watch what are your thoughts. Once corona goes, something else will come that you will fear and will paralyze you with fear. So the trick now with corona is to learn how to manage fear, because there'll always be something you fear a lot. Yeah. So what do you do with fear? Yeah. Corona is going to come. It's going to go. How did you handle corona? Now you'll get a bigger corona, maybe in 2 years' time. Well, how are you going to handle it? It will depend on how you handled this smaller corona, isn't it? And I believe God works with us like that, yeah? He gives you what you can manage. You manage this one, He'll throw another one, yeah? And I was thinking of a rugby player that When a ball is thrown at a rugby player, they don't stand and just wait for the ball to hit them. It will damage them, isn't it? They catch the ball and they roll with the ball. Rolling with the ball is what helps them manage the impact of that ball. So the same way with us, whatever situation we are fearing, let's face it. Let's see how best we can manage it so that it doesn't damage us. Yeah.
That is
Thinking of the worst scenario is such a powerful way of thinking, because if you think of the worst scenario, they have gotten from you that I don't think anything that can actually disturb you. So thinking of the worst scenario is really for real. It's really powerful. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it, because Sammy, think about it. Is there really anything you can do about avoiding an accident? You can do it. You drive safely, you cross the road safely, but there's this other crazy driver who maybe come from nowhere and can hit you, isn't it? But those kind of thoughts, you don't allow them to keep you in the house and you stop moving out of the house. Is you go out there and you trust that somehow God will protect you. But if the worst happens, then that is beyond you. So we are actually paralyzing ourselves thinking about what ifs that are beyond us. So why don't we manage what we can manage? Yeah, your relationships, your emotions, whatever. Yeah, but that which is beyond you, leave it. Leave it. It's that's why you're petrified, because you're thinking I could die from corona. But what are the chances of you dying from corona? Yeah.
and that's where you find your facts right, because I've actually noticed
Yeah.
and I've known that many of us young guys, we don't have our facts right.
Yes.
We're hearing from other people.
Yes.
So knowing your facts right is actually a really important.
And then do what you need to do. Be safe. Yeah. Be safe, and now go on with life as best as you can. Begin to is it what, to readjust to a new normal. So replan, re-strategize with this new reality. I just walk, I wear my mask, I keep my distance, I wash my hands, and I try to be as safe as I can. And then within those confinements and boundaries, I go on with my life as best as I can. Yeah. And if your goal was to get your master's, walk around this corona until you know how to get to your master's still. If you were getting married, I kept thinking about the guys who had planned to get married the week that the quarantine was announced. See, they still had a goal, yeah? So it was up to them to figure out how to get married with this quarantine maneno. Yeah, so just revisualize, re-strategize, but keep walking towards where you are going.
So what advice do you have for people out there, especially the guys who are going through a lot at home?
Think of quarantine as an opportunity to start again. So go back, take a pause. It's giving you time to pause in life, and take a pause and just re-evaluate yourself and where you're going. And break it into, see what needs to be done, break it into manageable goals, and start plowing through them. I think that's what's most important. But most of all, also recognize what you can manage and what is beyond you. What is beyond you, leave to God. What you can manage, again, go to God and ask Him to help you to manage what you can manage. Yeah.
So, Dr. Mary, thank you for doing this video with me. Thank you for giving us a lot of knowledge and insights. I've actually come out with a lot. And I hope also, guys out there, you've learned a lot from her. So anyway, I release videos just like this every week, and you don't want to miss it. Like and subscribe. Until next time, keep it Sammy Smiley, man. Keep it Sam Show. And be productive. So anyway, like and subscribe, man. Cheers, man. Cheers, brother.